Someone step on your anthill.
And I think we will meet a new enemy in this area as well. The smaller scorpions. There we go, that takes care of that. I believe there is a cannon somewhere around here that you can pick up early.
Is it like a secret or something?
Yes, I believe it's somewhere around these rooftops. Okay, so these little scorpions are not as healthy as the big ones, but they still pack a punch. They also happen to have the miniguns. It's just that these guys, according to the lore at least, don't actually have any miniguns grown out yet, because they grow miniguns out of their hands.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Instead, they have to hold some pre-made miniguns. I don't particularly care what they gotta do, because these fucking miniguns still hurt, and they have amazing reach. I believe I found the rooftop in question. Now the matter is how to get up to it. Man, who the fuck's shooting at us? Piss off. We're trying to do secret pro strats here.
Ah. Oh, my God. Can't even climb onto the fucking car. Holy
This is a
shit.
bit of a tricky part. Here we go, I got a... Oh yeah, it is the cannon. With one ball to be found within. I mean, we don't necessarily have to go for this secret because, again, just like the cannon, the laser cannon, I mean, if you restart the game, it'll disappear. Unlike the laser cannon, though, this isn't a super secret weapon. It actually is used a lot more often. As such, there's also more ammo, so I'm quite thankful for that, because this is a good weapon to have. Especially if you want to dispatch armies of soldiers in one go. Anyway, we shouldn't dilly-dally a little too long in this area, because there's not much to see here. There's just a lot of shitters to shoot.
Ah, oh,
It's everyone's favorite boner monsters. Except not really. If I sit in the car, they can't exactly pounce me. Pro strats discovered? If you feel adventurous, you can also run up to the scorpions and use the melee attack to snap their necks.
Ooh. Ooh.
There's a lot of melee attacks that you can do with these guys. I don't know, quite happy that you can actually have that as an option. I mean, sometimes you're really up close to someone and you would just like to do something to them real quick. I still hear enemies around us. Oh yeah, here's one. Was. Just exploded into meaty confetti. Man, rocket launchers are pretty good, aren't they?
I don't know, I haven't used it yet.
Yeah, you have. On the helicopter.
Oh, right. That is correct.
It is this way. Watch out for boners. I gotta say, today is a very slow day, even for the news.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the next article that was running, like the next story that was running after the harvest bullshit was, hey guys, did you see that's a partial moon whatever thingy? What's the word I'm looking for? Eclipse?
Yeah, Eclipse.
Yeah, moon eclipse. Partial moon eclipse. Have you seen that? Well, a lot of charlatans did. They're talking some shit. Who the hell even cares?
Oh, I mean, I would be interested in seeing that. I think here in America, we're due to see that tonight. Obviously, for the people watching, it already happened, but I think tonight we're due to see it.
You people are about to get a solar eclipse, actually.
Yeah, solar eclipse. I thought
Yeah.
you were talking about the same thing, actually.
Well, on our side, it was a moon eclipse.
Oh, well, I mean, the moon last night was out in full blast. I think that was maybe as close as I've seen it in a long time to the Earth.
Yeah, it's like a full moon right now.
Yeah, but even like more so, like amplified almost.
It's double the full. But I gotta say, the eclipse was kind of disappointing. Barely a corner was covered.
Yeah, well, I mean, they like hyping stuff up like that, so they, as long as they have a news story, they don't care how, good it may be.
Different, but in a way, it even looked kind of photoshopped. Because I mean, it was very unimpressive. It's just a slight corner covered that. And depending in which area of the country you were in, you could have seen more or less of that cover up. Either because of the clouds or because of the angle. That guy's still alive. There you go. So this area we just passed by is a place that people who borrowed this game don't like, because this is where one of the anti-piracy techniques kicks in.
How so?
Hold on a second. Sorry for that. I got slightly distracted.
It's alright.
I saw a bomb next to me.
I was just messing around, that's all.
You were trying to blow me up, weren't you?
Well, there's no friendly fire, but I was, I don't know.
Anyway, what was I gonna say?
You were gonna tell me about how they prevent piracy in this area, like how they
yes,
have that work.
See, there are several anti-piracy techniques employed for this game, because Pro Team, the developers, really didn't want the pirates to get away with their shit. One of them, and actually the very first one, is the Immortal Scorpion. One of the Scorpions spawns in, he's super fast and he's unkillable, has infinite HP. That one didn't take very long to break through for most of the people, actually, so in case of that, they also included another method, and that one, as far as I know, has only been ever cracked like one time by some obscure website, which only needed a registry patch, actually. But, well, several months later, that same registry patch was just gone from the internet, so good luck finding that nowadays. Unless somebody re-uploaded it. But basically, what happens is that your camera suddenly takes a turn for the worst. It starts spinning uncontrollably while looking up into the sky.
And that's only for people who pirated the game, or?
Yes, it's only for the pirates, because it has some way of detecting that you're using a cracked version.
Well, if it has a way of detecting that, then can't they just prevent people from playing it at all? I mean,
I don't think they can. I mean, maybe, but at the same time, they probably wouldn't want to do that entirely so as not to give themselves away right away, because they would probably want to sucker in the shitty pirates and crackers into, well, getting screwed over, making fun of them and all that. Like I said, that thing was eventually cracked, but I don't know if the crack still exists. had it one time before I eventually purchased the game. Or, well, actually, I don't remember if it was me or just somebody else purchasing for me, but let's just say for the sake of the argument that I did.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had that particular registry patch at some point, but I lost it and I could never find it again. So I don't know if it's still out there. It might be, but I don't know where to find it. I think that's about all of the tricks that they use actually, because the spinning camera has proven to be the most effective. How is that for kamikaze scorpions? For some of the enemies, you can find hotspots where you can drop bombs onto them to make your life a little easier. It takes a bit of effort to get to them, but if you can pull it off, it can be very helpful, as seen right there. Two of the guys just went down, and I'm taking the rest with me. Well, for the most part. Say, do you happen to own any Apple products, like maybe a Mac or something?
I own an iPhone.
Well, you might not be in luck then, because lately various ransomware, malware, and phishing attacks have become very popular on Mac products. Well, Mac, iPhone, all that stuff. The Apple products, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, but haven't they always been that way?
In a way. I mean, they weren't as prevalent, because for some amount of time, Windows was just more popular than Apple. And it still kind of is, but not to the same level anymore. So nowadays, malware developers, let's call them like that, they have decided to shift their focus more onto the Apple products because of this ridiculous notion that Macintoshes don't have viruses. No, they always did, it's just that they weren't as popular, and as such they weren't as many. Now there's about the same amount as for a Windows machine, for example, so you gotta watch out. For iPhone users in particular, you gotta watch out for free apps which look suspicious.
Yeah,
Probably a good idea not to download anything that looks just a little out of the ordinary or too good to be true. Like, for example, battery optimizers. They usually hide malicious code which doesn't necessarily ruin your phone, but rather employs it without your knowledge to make cash money for the developer of the virus.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
probably wouldn't want something for that. I mean, it's not very nice.
Yeah, I don't download a whole lot of anything except for music on my phone, so I'm not too concerned about that.
Speaking of phones, actually, I'm not really interested in having a phone anymore. I might just sell mine whenever I got the opportunity.
Well, I think you should at least have a phone, but maybe not such a pricey one or a high-tech one or anything. Hell, you could get like a flip phone or something, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like I could probably just get that newly released old-school Nokia that was announced not too long ago, because all I would ever need a phone for is to just have an alarm clock and to occasionally call someone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it would be useful to have a smartphone to just have an easy access to certain, maybe maps or something, but even then I hardly use the damn thing anyway. Like nowadays, I barely use my phone. It's an Android, but I have almost no use for it. I occasionally get calls from it. I use it as an alarm clock occasionally, And the rest, well, the most common usage for it is to just check email and Twitter. That's it.
Right. Okay,
There's really no point for me.
Is
to
this the
have it.
boss we're trying to kill right up here?
Yes, you want to shoot the open portholes that shit out these red beams. Any weapon works as far as I know, it's just that explosives tend to be a bit more effective. You'll want to ignore all the other monsters in the area because they will all despawn once the boss is defeated. Best weapon to use here would be the cannon, but unfortunately you only get like one cannonball to use at the moment, so I'd recommend actually saving the ammo. Well, actually, I think I will lose the ammo and the gun anyway whenever we start the game up over again sometime soon. Like, for the next session, I mean, so I might as well just use it. I think I missed my shot, so there you go. Brilliant. Also, avoid that electro cannon. That's, well, is ouchy.
Yeah.
It can take a bit of effort to destroy this guy, but let's just say we're gonna see him again later, so this match is more of a warm-up.
You know what? I never finished talking about Origin. That whole thing. We kind of we like deviated away from that.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. So I guess I'll bring that up now. Now is a better time than ever. So I was clarifying for the audience. My Origin account had a lot of games on there. Not nearly as many as I do on Steam. I'd say maybe like 30 games on there, which is a lot for Origin, considering that they don't sell a whole lot of anything on there. But, you know, I had a bunch of SimCity games. I had The Sims 4. I had the new Star Wars Battlefront. I had a lot of these expensive games on there that I had paid for and had logged a lot of hours into. And then I kind of left my Origin account for a few months. I was like, I don't really want to use it right now. I prefer the games I have on Steam at the moment. But I was always planning on coming back to it at some point. Well, I guess what I didn't fucking realize was that if you do not log into your Origin account for a while, if you kind of just like leave it alone for a while, eventually your credentials will expire, which means that essentially your account was automatically terminated by Origin and EA, whoever runs it, to, I don't know, make room for others. Or maybe they just assume that, you know, if you've been gone for that time period that you were never going to use it again. I don't really understand the logic behind it, but there's no way to recover your account once that happens, no matter what you do. So I've lost everything that I had in there, which is like fucking stupid because I was always planning on coming back to those games, and I spent like hundreds of dollars on games that were in there, you know, only to lose access to them. You know, so
it really feels like this is done simply so that they could have people eventually return back to their accounts or whatever, only to find that they need to make new ones so that they would have to buy the games again, which is really scummy.
Yeah. I mean, like, it made me mad when I found out that that was what the problem was. And I did talk to, like, Origin support or whatever, and they said there's nothing I can do once the credentials had expired. So
It doesn't even make sense. How does something expire on a computer? It's meant to hold, well, information for a very long time. Like, much longer than a fucking human can survive, that's for sure.
Right, yeah. I mean, like, I don't fucking know. It's probably some way to make money. You know, just to...
Probably is. I just don't see how this is even remotely necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for a company like EA. What, they can't afford more storage? Why hell?
Yeah.
A simple fucking peasant can afford terabytes of storage after just a few weeks of work. What, they can't afford more storage when they're a multi-millionaire?
Yeah, I think they're a multi-billion-dollar company. I think.
Yeah, even better. Even better. They could afford this shit easily, and they make it seem like they can't. I don't believe that one fucking bit.